Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the OCP, the Original Copycats podcast, mate. How are we all doing on this fine Tuesday? It's currently Saturday for me, but we'll just skip past that because it's going to get confusing. So the sun is out, the birds are chirping. I'm being very optimistic about what Tuesday is going to be like. No, in the UK, it's probably going to be pissing it down. But we move, as they say. So, I am here on my own, once again. Shut up, you love it. You fucking love it. And today's episode is going to be about Easter. Ooh. Don't know what that was. But before we jump into the meat of the episode, we have got a little shout out for somebody. Or I have got a little shout out for somebody. And that somebody is Brad, who joins us on the episodes quite a bit. You know Brad. He recently had his 30th birthday last week, technically. Yeah, if we're going by the fact that it's Tuesday today. Yep, last week. Happy 30th birthday to Brad. I hope you had a good day, mate. I mean, I saw you on the weekend, so I probably spoke to you then. Anyway, yes, so that's enough about that because he gets enough fucking mentions and airtime as it is. So yeah, love you, Brad. Thanks. So as I said, today is about Easter. Now, it's probably not going to be a very long episode today just because this was very last minute. And you know how much we like to be planned on this podcast. I found a few things to do with Easter that I thought might be interesting to share with you guys. So if we're going by my timeline here, where it's currently Saturday, tomorrow is Easter Sunday. So I hope you've all had a good day. And it was full of eggs and Jesus, or whatever you support. It could be a different religion. I don't know what I'm saying. So I was meant to record with Josh today, but that fell through because we're both busy seeing people. So I didn't get around to that, but I thought I'd just jump on and give you a short one today. That sounds... That's what she said. So to most of us, Easter is a time to celebrate the rebirth of Jesus. Actually, to be fair, that was probably true about 50 years ago, but now it's more so to do with chocolate. So, I mean, I'm not arguing. It's a pretty good compromise, to be fair. Do they do chocolate Jesus? Do they do little Jesuses made of chocolate? They must do, surely. Okay, yes, they do chocolate. I don't know whether it's specifically for Easter. But what I'm seeing here right now is you've got a chocolate crucifix with Jesus on it. You've got a chocolate Jesus with Jesus on it. That's more what I was looking at. This, like, him in his robe, just sort of standing there. Oh God, he's a bit boss-eyed. Dear, oh dear. What is this? What have I just... Chocolate Jesus by Tom Waits. There's a song called Chocolate Jesus. I'm going to have a listen to this. It's blues. Oh, God. Well, anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. So I'd say that most people associate Easter with, like, eggs and Easter. Most people associate Easter with chocolate eggs and Easter egg hunts and the bunny and stuff like that. Obviously, there's the whole Jesus thing that's quite prevalent and stuff. But I'd say it's more so to do with the chocolate side of things now. But apparently, there are more traditions around the world than just what I know, which is not a surprise to me, I've got to be honest, because quite frankly, I'm a bit of a dumbass. That was the most English way of saying arse. Oh dear. Do you know, that reminds me actually of a time when we went to see the film Kick-Ass in the cinema, and I went with my stepdad, and he went up to the desk and he was like, 2 tickets to kick ass, please. I was like, oh God. Yes. So, apparently there's loads of different traditions that people have from around the world in different countries. So we're just going to go through a few of them here. And there are 10 on this page. And there was only a couple on here that made me think, what the fuck? So we'll go through. I'll choose the couple that made me go, what the hell? To start with, shall we? So there's one here that grabbed my attention, and it was get your feet washed. And the picture that accompanies this is a priest that's is that holy water? He's dousing this kid's foot in water. And the caption that goes along with it is, the origin of this Christian Holy Thursday practice goes back to the Bible. Of course, why wouldn't it? In the Gospel of John, Jesus chose to wash his disciples' feet during Passover, so members of the congregation were invited to have their priest do the same. Up until 2016, though, only men could receive the symbolic gesture. Yes, because women don't have feet. I never understand this weird divide. Ever. Okay, so that was weird. Host your own egg roll. Now, it's essentially, you get a wooden board and you roll an egg down it. These guys clearly don't have an Xbox. An Xbox. Hey, so it says, the White House is known for its annual Easter egg roll competition, but variations on the practice of egg rolling have been done around the world. Now, I didn't know that about the White House. Is that a commonly known thing? Americans, let me know. Greener Grass, if you're listening, send us something in. Let us know if egg rolling is something you associate with the White House, because I have never heard it. We got Visit the Easter Bunny, which, yeah, fair enough. But the picture that has accompanied this is terrifying. It's a man in a bunny suit with one of these, I don't know what it's made of, but it looks like hard plastic or a porcelain type thing, but it's just a bunny head. But that is terrifying. And there's a child trying to whisper in one of its ears. Fuck that. Okay, we'll move on from this one. So this one says, the world's craziest Easter traditions. We have 10 on this one. So the first one was one that I was familiar with anyway, because of the good folks from Zesty Life Hacks, Tom and Hardy. And this is the Easter Bilby from Australia. And I'm just going to read what it's got on the site, because I can't be asked to ad-lib. So it says, in an attempt to raise awareness about the dwindling bilby population, confectioners in Australia have taken to making chocolate likenesses of this small rabbit-sized marsupial. Aussies can scoff at will, knowing that every bite they take is helping to save an endangered species. And it essentially is. I've never seen a bilby in real life, I don't think. I've seen pictures of them. And it is essentially like a little rabbit rat thing. It's the best way I can describe that. Okay. Number 2, the world's biggest Easter omelette in France. And that looks disgusting. I'm sure it tastes nice, but that is rank. Okay, on Easter Monday, the residents of Ho usually crack more than 4,500 eggs into a gigantic pan to create a massive Easter omelette that serves over 1,000 people. Each family breaks the eggs in their homes in the morning, and they gather in the main square where the eggs are cooked for lunch and dinner and breakfast the next morning. I do wonder how many eggs that is in that picture, because that is a huge pan. If you've ever seen, I think it's Liar Liar. Is it? No. Is it Liar? No. Is it? Which one's the one where Jim Carrey has got the massive cookie? Ah, it's Bruce Almighty. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah, that. It's that sort of size, the massive cookie at the start. If you haven't seen it, don't worry. I mean, you should, because it's a fucking great film. But, yeah, so's Liar Liar, actually. Telling the truth. Number 3, a time to splash out in Hungary. So, in Hungary, women dress up in traditional clothes on Easter Sunday and get splashed with water, or sometimes even have a bucket of water chucked over them. Ice bucket challenge. In historic times, the water was considered a way to keep healthy and fertile. Now it's just a fun tradition. Uncomfortable, yes, but it's certainly. Good God. It says beats, but I read that as breasts, and I was just thinking like a wet t shirt competition. We'll move on. The Witches of Easterwick in Finland. Okay, Halloween comes early to Finland as children dress up as witches and wander the streets with broomsticks and hunt for treats. The tradition is said to have come from the belief that witches would fly to Germany and cavort with Satan. Bonfires are meant to scare them away. Well, yeah, I mean, nobody wants to get set on fire. Number 5, tobacco trees in what? Tobacco trees, okay, in Papua New Guinea. Chocolate isn't much use in the steamy jungles of Papua New Guinea, so Easter trees are part of their celebrations instead. But instead of sweet treats or colourful decorations, people dress their trees with tobacco and cigarettes. Oh, nice. And use them as places of worship leading up to Easter. In churches, small trees are decorated with sticks of tobacco and cigarettes too. These are handed out after the Easter service. Why? I get it, but also I don't, because you are giving these to children. Maybe not a good idea. I get that chocolate isn't the best thing to have out there because of the heat and that, but maybe like, I don't know, have you heard of Love Hearts? They're pretty decent. Or Chupa Chups. Chewing gum would be a better alternative than this. Literally anything. Hey, what do you get for Easter? Cancer. Great. Moving on. Number 6, crucifixion and flagellation in the Philippines. Okay. In the Philippines, some devout Catholics have taken to the practice of self-crucifixion and self-flagellation on Easter. Their thinking is that it helps purify them and cleanse them of the sins of the world. But correct me if I'm wrong here, because I'm not in any way Christian. Didn't Jesus do that? So why do they have to then do it? Didn't he like die for our sins? I know he got reborn and that over Easter, but you know, why are they having to do it? The Roman Catholic Church is not keen on the idea and has been actively trying to discourage this practice without much success. Well, yeah, if they want to nail themselves to a fucking plank, they're going to do it, aren't they? Nutters, mate. The Easter Bunny sees red in Greece. This is number 7, by the way. Easter is known around the world for multicolored decorated eggs, but in Greece, you will find only red eggs, as red is the color of life. You see, as well as a why can't I say it? As well as a representation of the blood of Christ. So, is this bunny like on its period? What's going on here? From ancient times, the egg has been a symbol of the renewal of life, and the message of the red egg is victory over death. I don't really know what to say about that one, so we'll move on to number 8. Criminal intent in Norway. Is this like the purge? For one day a year, they allow all chocolate-related crimes. Easter time is a crime time in Norway. Television channels run crime shows, and a slew of new detective novels are commissioned to come out just before Easter. People across the country escape into their mountain cabins and spend the weekend with a whodunit television show or book. Even the milk cartons carry short detective stories on their side during the season. The phenomenon was triggered by the immense popularity of a crime novel in 1923 set on the Bergen Railway, or Bergen. That's a weird thing to carry over, I've got to be honest. I suppose they ain't got much else going on in Norway, so fair enough. Like, if you want to do that, you go ahead. Seems like a bizarre thing to... I wonder if they have one for, like, Christmas and Halloween and stuff. If it was like a spike of romance novels at Christmas, or a spike of romance novels at Halloween. Friday the 13th, featuring Jason, the plumber, who you can't pay and have to pay him in some other way. Number 9, the Great Easter Bunny Hunt in New Zealand. While the rest of the world hunts for Easter eggs hidden around their house, the whole world is hunting around your house. Jesus Christ. The good folk of Otago, I don't know, grab their guns for the annual Great Easter Bunny Hunt. The idea is to rid farmlands of invasive pets. Pests. Invasive pests, not pets. With over 500 hunters vying for the coveted trophy and the 3,500 New Zealand dollars in prize money. With over 10,000 rabbits meeting their maker each year, the Easter Bunny sensibly gives this corner of New Zealand a miss. I think I would too, to be honest with you. And the last one we have here, number 10, I did pre-read this one because it said at the beginning of this article that number 10 was kind of controversial, and I can see why. It is whip cracking in the Czech Republic and Slovakia. If you're a woman and you find yourself in the Czech Republic or Slovakia on Easter Monday, it is perhaps best to stay indoors. Local men and boys roam the streets with gaily decorated willow switches, usually adorned with ribbons, looking for girls to lightly whip, in quotations. Sorry. A, how do you lightly whip somebody? And B, what's the fucking point then? That sounds bad. What I mean, let me just backtrack. What I mean is, if you're going to do this weird thing with whips, some people are into whips, okay? We're not going to kink shame. If you're going to do this, what's the point in lightly whipping somebody? Just don't do it at all then, if that's the case. You might as well stroke them with fucking feathers. Like, I just don't get why. Moving on. The whipping is not intended to be painful. Don't do it then. But instead is... I can't keep saying don't do it then, because that sounds like I'm encouraging whipping. I'm not encouraging whipping. There's a point here and I'm not sure how to articulate it, so we'll carry on. But instead is meant to encourage good health and beauty. What? How? How do you... What, you just whipping the makeup off of people? What do you mean? Oh yes, here's some good health with fucking 9 lashes in your back. You may feel otherwise, and the tradition is seen as quite controversial now. Yes, I would agree. It's not the best. So yeah, unless you're from there, I wouldn't encourage taking that up. Although, to be honest, I probably wouldn't encourage anybody, even if you are from the Czech Republic or Slovakia, to whip women. Not great. Yeah. So that was different traditions from around the world. I didn't know hardly any of those. I knew about the bilby, and that was about it. So, yeah, there you go. Hope you've learnt something interesting. How long we've been going for? Oh, nearly half an hour. It won't be half an hour, though, once I've cut out all the mistakes I made trying to read one sentence. Jeez. So, yeah, that was the Easter special. Not really a special, was it? But yeah, hope you've enjoyed that. Go and check us out on socials. We are on Instagram, _OCP, Reddit, r/the OCP. Send us an email on originalcopycatscontact@gmail.com, and go and check out our YouTube, which is The Original Copycats, for some video content. Go and drop us a little subscribe and a little like, please. And while you're in the button clicking mood, why not go over to our Spotify, drop us a follow there. You're probably already on it, to be fair, because I think it's one of the most popular platforms. And we do have a little polling system or a question or something that I've uploaded in the episode description itself. So please go and check that out and let us know what you thought of today's episode, or last week's, or next week's if you're listening to this in the future. Yeah, so go and do something like that, please. It'd be nice. Thanks. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Join us again next time when we'll be doing something else. Not sure what yet. I'm going to go and have a listen to Chocolate Jesus by Tom Waits. And you can do the same and let me know what you think of that. But yeah, in the meantime, have a good one, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Oh yeah, happy Easter. Should probably say that, shouldn't I? Happy Easter, guys. Bye. Well, that was a good episode, wasn't it, Josh?
That was brilliant.
That was really good. I especially enjoyed how everyone sounded.
Yeah.
We're here just to say before you go, could you please spread us around? We'd love it if you could just tell your friends about us and potentially leave us a review where you can.
You can rate now on Spotify.
Yes,
So
you can. You can rate us. So
if you could rate us 5, we'd really appreciate it. But if not, that's fine too.
if you do rate us 5 or anything above, I know you can't, but if you somehow hack the systems, I will personally
Don't continue.
thank you.
That's better.
There we go.
Well done. So yes, if you could please feel free to follow us on all the socials.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.